Can you believe in God and science? Well, I believe in God, reason number 9. If God is in fact real, then science should support God's existence. We may not be able to see God, we may not be able to hear or feel God, but that doesn't mean God's not there. For example, if someone committed a crime and left the crime scene, you can find out whether or not that person was there based on the results of their actions, like a footprint or a broken window. In the same way, science allows us to track God's footprint, so to speak. So without further ado, here are 3 more scientific reasons to believe in God. Number 1. The universe needs to be created in a series of steps. In order for human life to be possible on Earth, the different parts of the universe would have to be formed in a certain order. For example, humans would not be able to exist for very long if there was not already something like the sun to generate sufficient heat or light. If plants and animals existed, but water was not formed before the plants and the animals, then those plants and animals would shortly die off. In other words, if the formation of the universe was started by the Big Bang, it would be extremely unlikely from a statistical standpoint that everything needed for life on Earth would be formed in the correct order. However, if God created the universe, there would be someone who is able to purposely form certain things, like the sun or the moon, before forming something like plant and animal life. Number 2. The principle of the survival of the fittest doesn't completely make sense. Let me explain. If all life on Earth began with simple, single-celled organisms, we would all have to have originated from a singular species. If that is the case, even if other species managed to develop the necessary traits to survive, the principle of the survival of the fittest would mean that more species would be eliminated. New species would not form. Therefore, unless there were many varieties of species at the beginning of the universe that already all existed at once, it is highly improbable that there would be as much diversity of species as there is today, since most of the weaker ones would have died many years ago. Number 3. The odds of humans being at the top of the food chain is improbable. If you think about it, the human race is at the top of the food chain. And not only are we at the top of the food chain, we're the smartest, most advanced species on the planet. Using our intelligence, communication, technology, and more, humanity has been able to conquer just about any kind of plant or animal, and even use many of those plants and animals for food. The odds of a random event such as the Big Bang or evolutionary processes causing one species to be so much higher than the others is highly improbable. No other species has been able to start businesses, build cities, manufacture cars, or build skyscrapers. Humans are the smartest species on the planet. But how did one species manage to accidentally become so remarkably smarter than the others? Furthermore, why are conditions on Earth just right for the survival of the human race while most, if not all, other planets are uninhabitable? All of these things are completely improbable unless you factor in an intelligent creator.